Hello folks, and welcome back to MTG Burgeoning, your channel for all things Magic. And this is another Tales from MTG Burgeoning video, which means if you are looking for any kind of deck techs or any kind of reward series, this is not going to be the video for you. However, if you want to just sit back and chill, reminiscing about some old school, old time Magic, well then, ladies and gentlemen, this is definitely the video for you. And from the last time we left off in this series, I was sharing with the world about my Shadows over Innistrad pre-release event that preceded the upcoming pre-release discussion, and that was the Eldritch Moon pre-release. Now, for Shadows over Innistrad, I had participated in a couple of the events during that weekend, but I did not participate in all of them. Because as you know, I mean, some stores can really roll out a ton of different pre-release events. For Eldritch Moon, however, and I can't remember how, I've been thinking about it for a while, and I still can't come up with exactly how it happened, but for some reason or another, there was enough availability for me on pre-release weekend to participate in every single pre-release event during the Eldritch Moon pre-release. And this is important because for my LGS, if you were able to participate in every pre-release event during a pre-release weekend, then you completed what was referred to as the Iron Man. It was referred to as being an Iron Man, and to be an Iron Man during pre-release weekend, you participated in every single pre-release event. And if you did, then you were gifted upon official release, remembering that, you know, before there was a time that pre-release meant that the only cards you were getting during pre-release weekend were the actual packs in the pre-release kits and any packs that you would have won during the pre-release event. No booster boxes were going out or anything like that. So during this time, the Iron Man was gifted with a booster box of the set upon official release of the set, if you were able to complete being an Iron Man. And for Eldritch Moon, that definitely did happen. I was able to complete the Iron Man event. And although I don't remember a lot of specifics about that event, I do remember sitting there on Sunday afternoon, the last event of the weekend, just sitting there waiting for the next one to happen, thinking to myself, man, I'm tired. It was a lot of Magic. I mean, the first pre-release event for Eldritch Moon started at what was it? It was Friday evening of that weekend. That was the very first one. And then there was one that started at midnight. That was the two-headed giant midnight version on Friday into Saturday. I remember leaving the LGS that Saturday morning at like 5:30, thinking to myself, this is the time I would normally be getting up to go to work. Glad it wasn't on a weekday or something like that. That would have been one of those, can't make it in. But anyways, so participating in the quote-unquote Iron Man of pre-release weekend during Eldritch Moon release, it was pretty sweet. And I still remember the one deck, I just had just every really good rare card that I could have gotten in those Bant colors. And I remember it being, I had, in one of the packs I had opened during a, 1v1 pre-release event, one of the packs had a Tameo Field Researcher, and it also had the Wolf from Innistrad, that if you targeted it with an instant or sorcery spell or something like that, then you created a 2/2 Wolf token. Now remember, this was block pre-release from the smaller set after the big set came out before it. So your pre-release pack had, I think, 4 packs of the smaller set, which would have been Eldritch Moon, and then 2 packs of Shadows over Innistrad. So when you were sitting down to construct your Eldritch Moon deck, it was not all just Eldritch Moon cards. So that's something to keep in mind, because that's just not how it happens these days. Because when you sit down for an Ikoria pre-release, you're getting 6 packs of Ikoria. you're sitting down for Eldritch Moon, you're getting 4 packs of Eldritch Moon and 2 packs of Shadows over Innistrad. But that Bant deck in the first 1v1, man, that was just a strong deck. Like I said, every single good rare card fell in those Bant colors. And it just worked out really well. And that was a 4-0 event, and I was really happy about that. That was not the first such time I would go 4-0 during the pre-release, but I left with a bevy of Eldritch Moon packs. And I still remember to this day sitting up, opening those packs late on that Saturday evening. And one of those packs, Liliana, the Last Hope. She was one of those packs, and that was a very, very nice pull. I was very okay getting that card in those pre-release winning packs. That was a really good, the Eldritch Moon, it was, I mean, there was a total of 5 events, I think it was. 2 Friday, 2, maybe it was 6, because it was the 2 on Friday. Yeah, there were 6, because there was a Friday evening that went into late Friday midnight into Saturday morning, and then Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening, Sunday afternoon, and then Sunday evening. So there were 6 events. That's a lot of Magic over one weekend. And I do remember the Bant. Man, that was a 4-0. That got me the pre-release championship for that part of their weekend. Oh, the 2-headed dragon. Oh, heartbreak. My partner and I, we had the plan. We were dominant. We were doing everything we needed to do. We opened up our card pools. We put the cards together. My partner had created the deck to be the aggressor with the creatures and the attacking and aggro style, and I was to take the back seat and play the control removal disruption, so that he was able, like, it was just a great combination for the cards that we had. The 2-headed giant worked out very well, except for the one game when we were absolutely just dominating this team. It was one of those situations where they were on their turn, and when they passed and we untapped, the game was over. And they so much as said that by their, nonverbal communications during that turn, but, still have to play it out. They did not just concede. So they decided, and I still don't know how it happened, but they decided to just attack us with a couple of creatures. We had almost our full life total. And like I said, when we untap, we're winning the game during our next turn. So we really didn't think of it as the threat it was. Thought it was maybe just a little bit of gamemanship. So we end up deciding to just let a few points of damage come through, not taking into account what might happen if we blocked with our creatures, if they had like a combat trick to kill our creatures. We didn't want that to happen because we were going to end up winning next turn. And there's no way the power they had on board was going to be enough to stop us. And they attacked. We let it through, a few points of damage. Then that was that. Then their second main phase. Oh, they start casting some instances and sorcery spells. They had this creature. I don't remember the name of it. It was during the Eldritch Moon time, and Shadows over Innistrad. It was one of those creatures that you tap to do a point of damage, and then whenever you cast either an instant or sorcery spell or a non-creature spell, it untaps, and then you can tap it again. Oh, so after all kinds of shenanigans with casting and tapping and untapping, and they just did a remarkable job of just loading up the spell. And there were a couple of other things, too, that I'm not remembering because it was all very shell-shocking. And what ends up happening is they do just enough damage to get us down to 0 life. And that was the only mark. That was the only mark I had during that pre-release event. 4-0, 3-1 with the 2-headed giant. Oh man, that's the one that gets me. You think about how awesome it was to 4-0 and bring home all those sweet rewards and open up all those packs, and you'll win your store's pre-release championship for that particular time period. But the one you remember most is the one that stinking got away. That one stinking 0, right down to 0 life with a bunch of ridiculous tap, untap, cast this, do direct damage, tap to do a point to each opponent. Because, of course, in 2-headed giant, when you're tapping to do damage to each opponent, we're taking 2 points because there are 2 opponents for each one of the two-headed giant's opponents. And that's just, what happens. That's a Magic player. I don't think I'm alone in that regard, and if I'm not, please, you let me know in the comment section below, because, oh, that was a slow walk to the car after that event. This is MTG Burgeoning, folks, your channel for all things Magic.